Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, and followers. It's another great day here. Good week. A lot of good things this week happened, but I'm not going to get into all those. But what I'm going to talk about in this video is about decision making and how it can be so difficult, especially when you're an Aspie or autistic, whatever you feel you call yourself. I'm the old-fashioned Aspie kind, but one of those things is like when you have to make a decision. And I know we make all kind of decisions. We make, what kind of clothes to wear, and that's a big thing at a young age. But I mean, even today, at 35, you have to decide, what's appropriate for the workplace. So many things. But regardless, decisions, when you have to make a lifetime commitment or any severe decision, what you're going to do that day, or if it's good or if it's right, a lot of things bounce in our head. We think of all the irresponsible possibilities. We listen to others' opinions. Some were influenced by others. We take with a grain of salt. And I think one of the things that's the hardest is making your own decision. And, I think, sometimes you have to look at it from your point of view and think, how will this affect me? How will things, at the end of the day, when the dust is all settled, how will things in my situation with this thing, with lifetime commitment, how will it affect me? Because, am I going to be happier? Am I going to be miserable? Am I going to get what I need? Am I going to not get what I need? Am I going to get the care of things I need? Are my needs going to be met? Things like that. And I think, am I going to be am I going to be overly sensoried? Am I have sensory overload? Am I not gonna, am I gonna be able to have my, my freedom? I think, am I gonna be okay? Am I not gonna have a meltdown? Am I gonna be well? Things like that. And you just have to, and people have their opinions. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, as much as we don't like it. It's just like this election coming up next week here in the United States. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have, I think the hardest thing with autistics and opinion is taking everything literally and being naive and just just sucking in to whatever they hear and thinking it's a good thing. It's good, and it's if I like it, I'm gonna suck right into it, and it's just like impulse shopping. It's not a good thing, and you're just sold on one thing. But if you look, you have to focus on what's good for you in the end, and what you can, what's is it, how does it benefit me? What can I do with it? Things like that. And I think the important thing is, make sure that you're safe and well, and that you enjoy it. Um, you know, but it's just so hard, with those things, being naive, making a decision, but even being naive or being taken advantage of is a whole other thing. But yet it's making the decision: is it right or is it wrong? One time I was at a doctor's appointment in my last chapter, and somebody had offered me a ride. Well, it would have been nice, but you know what? I didn't take it because I don't know the person. Stranger danger, the whole thing. So, part of me is being a responsible adult and not doing that. Knowing what's right, what's wrong, having those skills, for on the to be on the street. I remember one time I was walking down the street, and my sister's friend from high school was driving, and she offered me a ride, and I was going right there, but you think of this later on in life. What if that, or you just don't know, and it just makes you think, the many autistics out there who don't, and ended up in some victimizing or criminalizing or naive or being taken advantage of ways. And, it's just because of the decisions they make. And I think you have to stop and think before you make each decision. Absolutely, first and foremost. Um, Decision making it has to be very thought out. It has to be very well planned. Um, I think you have to look at both sides of the coin. You have to gather feedback, value it, value it depending on it, but don't buy into it. You know, buying. I mean, if you feel you can't go, if two people have two different varied opinions or have worry, and let's look at worry and opinion for example. Worry is a whole different thing than opinion or what they want, but worry is something that's just a general feeling that a person has, and we shouldn't look. And I have a hard time with that, like with worry and want. Worry is just a feeling, and it's okay for people, especially those close to you, to have feelings about in that way. Whereas a person who can see the potential has the potential, sees the potential, and knows I can do it. And with my last video, extra help, or getting, or realizing when you need help, I think that all has to come into play too when making a decision to get independent. But that's a whole nother thing. But you see where I'm coming at. It's very, decision making is a very regimented and very, you have to be an independent thinker. And that's something I kind of need support in, is being an independent thinker is how will it affect me? And it's in no way being selfish. It's making sure that my needs are met and that things are taken care of, and that I can do things. And you can have multiple ends of the spectrum, and that's just like being on the autism spectrum. You don't know. Some people may be well with making decisions. Some are very calculated, but some listen to valued opinions and they think, and they get naive, and they don't, and sometimes they only see you as the naive person. But in reality, you can be a very, independent thinker and be really well when you're not around the person who sees you as naive, if you get my drift. But, in the end, you have to think that decision. And, you have to think, is it for, what is it for me if it involves me? But also if it's for somebody, that you're thinking for somebody else, like somebody you're caring for, or so forth, then you have to think, what's the best thing for them? So, just something to ponder about this week. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately about some things. So, with that, I'm going to come to a close. But as always, like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Dustin's Dynasty. Have a good week, everyone.